Hello and welcome to the Untitled channel, and today I want to show you guys my new, complete, and decked out $1,500 PC gaming setup using an upcoming $1,000 gaming PC build. It's upcoming because it's not out yet for a good reason, which I'll talk about later in the video. The main goal behind creating this new $1,500 gaming setup here behind me was just to create something simple that had all the essentials for a competitive PC gaming setup, while of course looking good, because you're dropping a pretty fair amount of cash into a setup like this. So that means getting a gaming mouse that is precise and competitive for any first person or battle royale game, getting a reliable, sturdy, and pretty satisfying to use mechanical gaming keyboard that uses linear switches, a wireless headset you can put on your head, get straight to using, take off whenever you don't need it, along with a fast responding 1440p monitor and a gaming PC that'll be the backbone behind this whole setup. So if you're interested in any of the products that I use throughout this video, I'll have them all linked in the description below. And quick disclaimer, this video is being sponsored by Roccat. However, my opinions throughout this video are not sponsored. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off this $1,500 gaming setup tour with my favorite peripheral being the mouse. Here for the mouse, we have the Roccat Burst Pro. This is a wired gaming mouse that weighs 68 grams, features RGB, and interestingly, compared to other gaming mice, uses an optical switch rather than a traditional mechanical switch. And this piqued my interest really early while using this mouse because the click is more firm, lower pitched. It's almost like a little bit harder to click, but it's more satisfying than like my G503 that I use on a daily basis. So I went ahead and looked up what sort of technology they're using in this mouse, and they're using a brand new tightened optical switch. And essentially, compared to a regular switch on another gaming mouse, this one will interrupt a beam of light anytime you click down on it, which will register an input to your PC faster than a traditional mechanical switch on most other gaming mice. So on paper, this mouse should be faster than a lot of others for around the same price. But again, I'm not a competitive FPS gamer, I'm not an esports pro, I'm not super crazy at those games. Even with my time while using CSGO with this mouse, I couldn't notice that much of a difference between this and a regular mouse. But again, I like the clicking sensation on this mouse. It's a lot more firm, which I like. So in my opinion, if this mouse came in a wireless variant, kept about the same weight, had the same RGB, same optical switch, same shape and ergonomics, I would totally switch out my personal Logitech G305 with a wireless Burst Pro. So make it happen, Roccat. Now let's talk about my keyboard choice, which is the Roccat Vulcan TKL. This is a $120 mechanical gaming keyboard that uses their Titan linear mechanical switches. It's TKL, so there's no number pad, and that was intentional because this will cost a little bit less than a full-size keyboard, and you get a bit more room on the right side of your keyboard if you're a right-hand mouse user, so you can have more room to fling around your mouse for whatever FPS crazy 360 headshots you gotta do in like CSGO or Call of Duty. And besides the fit and finish, the actual RGB light quality, I think that is on par with Corsair and Razer keyboards as well. Like, these RGB lights aren't just bright, they're also colorful, because I know there's cheaper RGB gaming keyboards out there that claim to be RGB and bright, but the actual quality of light used just isn't quite there. So this definitely doesn't disappoint, and beyond that, some of the actual RGB lighting effects only found on this keyboard can be fairly unique. Like, I haven't found some of these sort of lighting effects on other Razer and Corsair keyboards.
Moving on to the headset, I've chosen the Roccat Elo 7.1 Air wireless surround sound gaming headset. So if you're going to be building a gaming setup of this sort of scale and magnitude with a high budget, I really think you should opt for a wireless gaming headset, because that freedom of movement even while you're in your gaming setup, it's just such a nice premium to have. And I mean, there's been so many situations on my own sort of front where I've had my wireless gaming headset on, stand up out of my chair, go downstairs and get food while still listening to music or whatever like YouTube video I'm listening to. So it's such a nice premium to have, and I really think you should opt for a wireless gaming headset. Now, specifically when it comes to the Elo 7.1 Airs, the one thing I did like about this was how lightweight and comfortable this headset was. When it comes to gaming headsets, if you have this adjustable headband that will automatically fit to whatever size head you're putting this headset on, it's an instant win in my book when it comes to comfort, because these have just always across the board felt comfortable when you have this adjustable headband rather than like a static one. Another thing to note is that this does have a detachable microphone if you just want to straight up rip it off, and maybe use an external microphone if you wanted to have a nicer sounding one. And really, I've got no other complaints for this gaming headset here other than it's a nice pairing along with the keyboard and mouse, because you do get the Roccat Swarm software, and there you can pair up all of your Roccat peripherals in one place and be able to change their lighting effects, their onboard profiles, and any other additional settings, and just have all of that in one place that's very easy and convenient to use.
Next up, let's talk about the monitor, which is the Pixio PX277 Prime. To put it short, really, this monitor here is 1440p with a 165Hz refresh rate, a 1 milliseconds response time, an IPS panel, includes AMD FreeSync, and is $330. So really, that's kind of enough said, really, for a nice 1440p gaming monitor that isn't overpriced. The only thing I don't like about it is the stand quality, which kind of shows where the price of this monitor is, because all of the budget was put into the panel and they did the least amount for the stand, because all you can do is just pivot the monitor forwards and backwards. But I mean, if you want to fix that, there is like a $20 single VESA mount monitor mount you can use with this monitor that you can have height adjustability with. That'll fix that situation. But really, I've got no complaints with this gaming monitor. It looks great. There's pretty much no lag and will be fully utilized with our $1,000 gaming PC with that RTX 3070 and i5 processor I've chosen out. So speaking of, let's get straight to it. So the $1,000 gaming PC here, which I haven't released yet on the channel, uses an i5 10400, an RTX 3070. Yes, those won't bottleneck. I've already done benchmarks. That's not happening. 16 gigs of RAM, a 500 gigabyte Western Digital Black SN750 M.2 SSD, a 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, all in a metallic gear Neo Air ATX case. Oh, and a B460 Pro motherboard from ASRock. And that totaled out to about $1,000 to $7,000 to $1,000 to $15 if you can find that RTX 3070 I used in this build. The gaming performance of this PC is just simply undeniable with that i5 6-core 12-thread and RTX 3070 along with 16 gigs of RAM. It crushes anything at 1440p, and specifically in a few titles, you'll actually be able to use the full 165Hz refresh rate of that monitor in games like Valorant, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and a few other esports titles. But if you're planning to play Cyberpunk 2077, you aren't going to be able to get close to, I think, 165Hz with RTX on, but still, it should be a much more smooth gaming experience than just having a regular 60Hz or 100Hz 1440p monitor. Again, the full build video for that PC is going to be releasing soon on the channel. It'll probably be around January, but there I'll show you how to build the PC, how to set it up, and specifically all the benchmarks I went ahead and took for it. But really, if you want to build this PC right now and use like a different graphics card, I will link a tutorial in the description below. That's an overall general use PC building tutorial that'll show you how to build this PC. Yes, the parts may be different, but the build process is pretty much the same. If you're able to get what I have here behind me, I think you'll be set with a really nice gaming setup that's high-end, performs really good, and of course, looks good. So if you can get everything here behind me, congrats on you. But that's gonna be quite the challenge at the moment. So if you enjoyed this PC gaming setup here, definitely consider subscribing to the Scatterable channel, because I will definitely be making more now. I'll promise you that, because I graduate in 2 weeks and I'm declaring full-time YouTube once that happens. I'll give myself a little break from like Christmas to New Year's so I can just like chill out, play Cyberpunk for once. But yeah, that's legit gonna happen because I'm gonna do full-time YouTube because my degree has a really bad, job market at the moment because of COVID. So yeah. And if you're feeling above and beyond, do click that bell notification button because that'd just be really appreciated. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scatterable channel, signing out.